Hello and welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be trying something slightly different than we normally do. We're going to try and draw a giant sword and then a small banana man in the background. Hopefully it will look cool. I don't know if it will. We're going to try to put a lot of focus on the giant sword, whoopsies, and then we're going to draw a tree that Banana Man is leaning against. So first we're going to start with the angle of the sword, and I do have a reference for this image. It's like just a picture of exactly what I described, and I thought it was cool, so I want to try and put Banana Man's sword in it and his self, I guess. How do we do this? What is his... Okay, his sword is slightly complicated, which is why I usually draw it at a very small scale, because it's easier. But we're not doing that today, so we're going to try and line this up. Now you may wonder, what the hell am I lining up? That line with the lines right here, because I'm trying to make the sword somewhat thick, but not too thick. And I'm hoping that this will be the right thickness. Will it be? I really hope so. Because then I don't have to measure anything again. I hate measuring things. I much prefer to just like wing it, but I have a feeling that it'd be better if I just measured this. It would just go faster, I think. Well, I did mess that up. Hold on. I'm like drawing under my hand, so I can't really see what I'm doing. Okay, that line's all messed up, but that's fine. It's not perfect. Like, I wish it was a little bit wider, but it's just a little bit, so... it's fine. Okay, now how does the blade work? Well, I do want to dip in the blade. How? I don't know. Like the dip that they have because of the hilt. Or, well, actually, I'm pretty sure it's because of to make the swords lighter. He's got one of those in his sword. We're just going to lightly sketch in something so I don't forget to add it. This isn't perfect or anything, but this isn't even where it would be, because this is the top half of the sword. Well, no, I mean, this isn't where it would end. I ended it there. It would end somewhere towards the end of the sword. Now for the handle, which we're going to put right here, that's just going to be a little bit trickier. I do not have any references for his sword, so anything that I have not fully decided on what it looks like, we're doing that today and right now. Alright. Depending on how long this takes, now that I think about it, I might not draw Banana Man himself too, if this takes like a long time. But we'll go ahead and add a straight line here. Straight across. Is this straight? This looks straight enough. Now, his hilt is a little bit different. It is made of vines or roots or whatever. There's no leaves on it. It's just like a bunch of, I guess it would be roots. Would be more accurate, but I'm gonna call it vines. There's vines that wrap around. They basically create the handle of his sword and the crossguard. So the only part of his sword that's metal is the blade, which that is because he... Okay, I'm still trying to think of how big I want everything to be, and talking while thinking is not the easiest thing. This isn't all... I'm not 100% sure on this yet. I don't know if I want him to just carry his sword around or if I want this to actually be true or not, but I think it would be cool if his sword was on the pommel of it, which is the bottom of the handle on the sword, would be a pumpkin, a little pumpkin that he would kind of carry around, and he's able to turn this into different weapons by making it the vines out of it, because he's able to do that with bows. But I don't know if I want him to be able to do that with a sword, because where does the blade come from? I don't know. That's something I'll have to worry about. Maybe it's, maybe the blade is always, he keeps a sheath on himself, and the blade stays on the sheath? I don't know. Or, I mean, in the sheath, not on it. The blade stays in the sheath, and he just kind of puts it towards the sheath and pulls it out, and it grabs the sword. Because it does wrap around it quite a bit, so maybe that's what it does. Because then I can keep my cool design for his sword. And also keep giving him a bow, because I like giving him a bow. I don't know why, but I think it's cool. Alright. We're just kind of doing this with circles because I don't want it to be perfectly straight because, like I said, it's vines. It's not going to be perfect, and if I were to just draw lines, then it would be much more perfect than I actually want it to be. And I know if I'm drawing circles, I'm not going to be able to draw them very straight. Or I mean spirals. This is me trying to keep this as straight as possible, by the way. Okay, so how are we going to do this exactly? I wish I... Is it in that sketchbook? I don't think it's in the sketchbook. Give me 1 second. Where did I put that sketchbook? It's over here. I crawled away. I scuttled away. Okay, let's find where it is. It's in here somewhere. Oh, that's fine. That happens all the time. This sketchbook is fully filled out. But somewhere in here, there's a picture of Banana Man and his picture of Banana Man in his little sword. Or, no, it's a picture of just his sword, actually. Alright. It's a picture of what they're gonna do with Banana Man's stuff once he actually dies. Alright. It's in here somewhere. I know it's in here somewhere. It's somewhere. Come on. Come on. Come on. Where the hell are you at? Where the hell are you at? If it's not in here, I'm gonna be really annoyed. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Is it at this end? I honestly feel like I should just pause this recording. Oh, there it is, there it is, there it is. I must have just passed it because I think I was at that point. I'm gonna fix this a little bit. Okay, no we're not. We're just taking it off. There. There's his sword. Okay. So it vines out from the pumpkin. I've got the sword. Alright. His cloak looks different now, so it won't look like this when they put it on there. But they will be just sticking. When Banana Man dies, the main party, the people that he travels with, will take his sword, leave it in the ground where he died, or somewhere important to them, I'm not entirely sure, and they will leave the sword there. And they will leave his necklace there too. His necklace is actually a magic item, but with him, I think the magic in it is also going to die, because it was not actually originally supposed to be a magic item. It just kind of ended up being that way because of how magic items work in that world. You can put, if you keep something on long enough and have enough magic, you can create magic items, because that's how they're created. But they're usually created by monsters, because they typically are made up of mostly magic. Or it's actually mana, but, you know, whatever, who gives a shit. Oh shit, these are on the wrong lines, that's what I'm trying to say. Alright. It's all mana, it's not magic, but from, I don't know. I like to explain this stuff as if you have no idea what the mana is. Although I assume most people do, but that's because I watch a lot of fantasy things, so I know it, so it seems common sense to me, but most people don't. I had a friend who, we were playing a game, and I mentioned mana in a different context than the game we were playing, and he was like, wait, that's not specific to this game? I thought that was... He thought it was just specifically for that one game we were playing. Which I kind of thought that was funny, though, because... Right, so... How the hell do we draw vines, man? I drew some vines literally a couple days ago. And I cannot draw... I cannot draw vines, man. Alright. That's not how I want that to look. Okay, let's try and literally just... Let's just draw some fucking lines, and then we'll draw lines around it. How about that? If we just, like, start placing lines all over the fucking place, and then just, like, kind of outline some of them, try to make some sense of the chaos after. Maybe that will be easier. I don't know if it will, but we're gonna hope it will, because I'm getting nowhere at my current rate. Alright. There we go. That's fine. That's fine. There, that's perfection. Okay, yep, that's okay. Not the best. Alright. That's fine, that's fine. We'll take it for now. I'm going to quickly outline what I want the handle to actually look like. I know I put those lines down, but I want a little bit of a curve to the handle, although it actually should probably curve the other way. I don't care. Alright, that's how that handle curves. I was going to grab it, but then I remembered swords are heavy. I was going to grab it, but I would have just dropped that. I could take the handle off and use my handle as a reference, but it's slightly annoying to put back together. So we're not going to do that, because I don't want to. Because that sounds like a pain in the ass. Alright. So we want some vines coming down onto the blade, because I think that's cool. That is really the whole reason this sword exists. I think it's cool. That is honestly the reason most of Banana Man's powers and things like that exist. I just think it's cool. Because might as well give my favorite character the best abilities, right? Because Banana Man is my favorite character. Banana Man and Wimp. Wimp has kind of boring abilities, though. She is just, a smart goblin. And has magic, but she's not the, like, strongest in the world or anything. She's just regular strength, really. But Banana Man is one of the strongest in the entire universe. Okay, that might be a little bit of a stretch. In the entire main cast of people, he's one of the strongest. Not the strongest, just one of the strongest. But there's plenty of side characters that are stronger than him, because the main characters of my little story are not actually the strongest in their universe, because I think that's kind of boring. I would like there to always be something stronger than them. I think that's more interesting. There's always something they would need to overcome, or something that could happen. I don't know. I just think it'd be cool. Alright. Like, there's one looming... He's not a threat. He's just kind of around sometimes. He's not bad, he's a good guy, but he's the strongest in the entire universe. That's what I decided. His name is Fireman. He's just a knight in some cool... I'm not entirely sure the color scheme yet, but I'm thinking red and black armor. He's just a cool knight. He's the strongest. He was either a king or a knight of a kingdom that doesn't exist anymore. He's the only survivor. The whole kingdom was wiped out. Why? I don't know, but he's the only survivor. You're not supposed to know any of that, because he's literally not important to the story at all. I just thought he was funny to add, like, oh, here's the strongest character in the universe. Yeah, he's not around for any of the important events, though. It's like the world's about to end. He's over in a random town talking to some random locals. Why isn't he there? Oh, he didn't know. Alright. Nah, he probably would just go around to smaller towns, though, because he'd just try to help all the people. That's what he'd go around doing, is just adventuring, trying to help people. He wouldn't get into major conflicts, because he knows that he'd be able to immediately win whatever conflict it was, and he thinks that's unfair. Alright. Now, how the hell do we draw this frickin' vine? Like, we're gonna try and squiggle it. Maybe making it squigglier will make it better. I'm not really sure. We're doing our best, but I still feel like we're not doing the best. I still feel like we're not doing as good as we actually could. Alright. This is taking a long time, so I do not actually think I will be drawing Banana Man. I do think it'd be cool if I did, but also, like, I don't want to spend like 7 hours on this, because it's inconvenient drawing in this angle, and if I want to take this drawing further, I can draw it in one of these sketchbooks and draw it easier. Alright, I've actually done that a couple of times, decided like, oh, I really liked what I was drawing today, let me go ahead and redraw it in a bigger sketchbook, or not bigger, in a better sketchbook. And there's literally nothing wrong with the sketchbook at all, actually. It's just sitting at this angle makes it harder to draw. Alright. Now the fucking vine arms are gonna make this hard to draw. Why does that one look so good? Because it's small and I scribbled and could get away with it. Like, look at that. Look at that. That looks nice. Looks like the vines are just coming out of it all nice, like. And they're like scribbles. It's nice. Maybe, oh, you know what I could do, actually? I could add Banana Man's necklace along here. And then, oh, but then I kind of would have to draw it in perspective. No, I don't have to. I just get wind is blowing it in that direction. I could do it. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll think about it. Because then we don't have to draw Banana Man, because then he's dead. This is Banana Man's death. We won't draw that for a while. Probably because that would be so incredibly fucking hard to draw. Like, you know how hard that's going to be to draw? You don't. Because I haven't told anybody how he dies yet, but it's going to be very difficult to draw. Because there's going to be a lot in it, and I'm going to need to draw multiple full backgrounds, because it's going to need to happen in multiple panels. Right. There we go. You know, I should really just start, like, drawing some Banana Man comics. I keep saying that I'm going to, and, like, getting ready to, and like practicing drawing things specifically for the comics, but then I don't do it. Maybe I'll do one soon. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I'll start drawing some more fantasy creatures. I had a friend who started drawing some, so maybe I'll start drawing some. Draw some for him. I don't know. If he wanted any. Alright. I'll probably be going to play with that dude after this. Like video games, so Honestly, yeah, I could just ask him, figure out. Maybe tomorrow I'll be drawing some fantasy creatures. I don't know. I don't know. He does D&D and stuff, or D&D and stuff. Wait, no, yeah, that makes sense. It just sounded weird when I said that in my head for some reason. So maybe I could, I don't know, draw something for his characters or something like that. I don't know. I have never played D&D, nor do I really know much about it. I like D&D. I think it sounds cool, but it seems like a lot of work to have to find people to play it with, and you know, I'm not the most social person in the world, so that's not happening anytime soon. Right. There we go. Alright, so this one is much thinner, not the one I'm drawing. This one is much thicker than the other one. That's fine. You know, if I'm drawing like a really big version of this, I should draw a really big version of that weapon I drew a long time ago. There was a weapon I drew a while ago as a scythe. It might be in the sketchbook. If it is, I can show it. It'll be in the first couple pages. But no, it's not there. It's a really nice design. I'm very proud of that scythe. I still very much like that scythe. And it had a series of weapons. It wasn't just one weapon. It could transform into multiple, so I should draw some more of those. It kind of had like a giant circle and a symbol in the middle. Kind of looked like an eye. It wasn't an eye. Well, actually it was and it wasn't. I don't know. I couldn't decide if it was mechanical or magical, because it kind of looked like both. And I couldn't decide which one I wanted it to be. It's either an eye and it just kind of transforms, or it's machine and you kind of grab it and turn it. I don't know. I don't really know. That is actually one of my character's weapons, though. The one that uses the scythe gets that. And it's because a scythe is a shitty weapon, so kind of needs to swap weapons from time to time. But also, that's also one problem, though, with that character, is that character is supposed to have a tendency to throw their weapon at the enemy and just go straight hands instead, just start punching. So, honestly, doesn't really need the ability to swap weapons, but, you know, they got it, so. Also, that character is a freaking lizard person, because why not? That's what the little one wanted, to be a be a lizard person. And to have no tail. That is very specific. That is very important to their characters, to have no tail. Because I decided that for lizard people, tails is like a sign of status or something. I don't know. They have no tail, and they don't like to talk about it, so you don't get to know how they lost it. It's kind of funny. It's not even actually like unimportant, like how they lost it or anything. It's just slightly embarrassing, so they just don't talk about it. It was fully because of a miscommunication. Alright. There we go. But also that lack of tail and some other aspects of their personality are why they're with the main group of people, because the main group of people in my little story is all just a bunch of freaking weirdos, basically. They're all people that didn't fit in normally, because that is all because of I couldn't come up with normal fucking names for these people. One of them is literally named Tinker Tank. One of them is named Banana Man. I couldn't come up with normal names, so I decided, fuck it, that those are their actual names. And there's story reasons now. There are a group of people who got together because they're all weird. It's a group of ruffians. I don't fucking know. Except for one. One of them's just named Lloyd, and he's normal, but he was the one who started it, so he's allowed to be normal. Alright, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool looking. It's definitely not perfect, but it looks like a tree and vines, kind of, so, like, I'm not mad about that. I would like to have a little bit more variation of what's coming down, because if you can see, this does have a little bit better, and I should have branched it off, because vines can actually branch off. I should have done that more. But overall, this isn't bad. We're going to go ahead and add the necklace right here, because I do think this is kind of empty, so it needs something. Now, his necklace does not have a... Exactly, I'm going to actually wrap it around this way, so it's a little bit more static, maybe. I just need a circle. How big is this necklace, actually? Hold on. It's about this big. Okay, this big. Let me use my sword for scale. About the size of the pommel. Actually, it's bigger than the pommel. The pommel would be this big, so about this big. So a little bit smaller than that. But that's also kind of weird, so we're gonna, where the hell do we want this? We're gonna put it right here and make it this sized. Even if that's not fully correct, that's fine. It's supposed to be a yin and yang thing. But I'm not very good at drawing the yin and yang sign. So a lot of times it doesn't end up looking like it. So honestly, in the end, I might end up changing it to not a yin and yang sign anymore. Simply because, fuck it. That's how I keep deciding important decisions for my story anyways. I can't do something or I mess something up and it becomes important. That's why Banana Man exists in the first place, so. Alright, there's his necklace. Now, it doesn't have white. It has just a rope that kind of wraps around this. But his is the bad side, so his would be shaded to the black. I don't know if that's yin or yang. I don't know. I think it's yang, because that one sounds worse. Yin sounds nicer. But, you know, whatever. So, oh wait, why am I shading this in at the moment? I might as well finish shading it so it's all even, but I need to erase this. I want it all to be even. Now I need to erase this so that you don't see the other ones. Alright, first we're going to start with a hard eraser to get rid of all the other ones and the other stuff you don't need to see. Then we're going to go light. I was going to use my kneaded eraser, but this is fine. Now, let's go ahead and make the tie skinnier actually, because, well, it was a little goblin that tied it, so it's not going to be perfect or anything. And that little goblin was actually Wimp. Wimp was the one who gave this to Banana Man. He doesn't know that when he meets Wimp. Shit. But yeah, okay, we're hanging it here because if I were to hang it here, it would need to have been down much more to like right here. I messed it up. It's going here. Yes, I could just defy gravity, but fuck off. No. That's boring. Alright. So, we'll go like this. It doesn't need to be perfect, because, like, I don't care, but, alright, we'll go ahead and go like that, so it's got something to hook onto, kind of. Then we'll go like this. And there we go. Boom, perfect. That looks good. Now let's go ahead and draw our little symbol. And you know this video is probably getting quite long, but that's fine. Alright. There we go. There we go. And there we go. Can you tell this is half of a yin and yang sign? I feel like you kind of can. I need to figure out something for how this thing actually works, though, because, well, actually, no, I was going to say how Wimp made it, but she doesn't need to have made this. She can actually have just found it. She steals things anyways. She's a little thief anyways. Got sticky fingers. She's got much stickier fingers in her adolescence, but when she gives this to Banana Man, she is still young, so. And then she meets up with Banana Man, like, probably like 10-ish years later. I can't remember the exact ages they decided they meet at, but it's fine. Alright, maybe it was like 10, so maybe it was like, yeah, 10-ish years later. Banana Man's around in his like very early 20s, so I think that would make sense. I don't know. Alright, go like that, shade it in, and there we go. There's a little necklace. I think it's fine. It's not perfect. Yeah, we're just gonna leave this here. I think this looks good. Have a wonderful day. Subscribe.